The Top Floor Please podcast, where women in leadership rise together. I'm your host, Melissa McCormick, executive coach and founder of the Grace and Salt Leadership Academy. This is your space to find clarity, grow in confidence, and lead with bold authenticity. Whether you're navigating the boardroom, building your team, or stepping into new territory, you're not alone. Let's talk real challenges, real growth, and real leadership because the top floor isn't just a place, it's a mindset. Alrighty then, let's get started.
All right, everyone. Welcome to the Top Floor Podcast. I'm your host, Melissa McCormick, and I'm the owner of Grace and Salt Leadership Academy. And that's where we help leaders get their time back. We do that through the Executive Accelerator Program, and we'll talk more about that in a little bit. But today, I am pleased to announce my dear, dear friend, Anisha Grimmett, and she is our guest today. So welcome, Anisha.
Thank you. Thank you. I was going to say
Awesome.
good morning, but I guess it's afternoon for us here. So
It
yes.
is afternoon for us. Yeah, we're just having a conversation. We haven't chatted for a bit, and so I'm super excited to just kind of dig a little bit. Like we've been friends for a couple years.
Yeah.
And but I don't think we've ever really talked about your leadership journey. So I'm really looking forward to learning more about you and how you got to where you are. So as we get started here, why don't we start there? Tell us a little bit about yourself and your current role. What are you doing?
Yeah. So it's funny that, once again, my name is associated with being a leader. I never thought in a million and 2 years that I would be considered a leader in the community or any career space. I'm growing up as a little girl here in Rockford, Illinois. So it's just for a fortunate title. And I think really great leaders don't always aspire to be leaders, but somehow they get picked along the way to become leaders. So that's always great, right? So a little bit about myself. I am a mother of two college boys, a wife, been married to my husband for almost 23 years this year.
Nice.
I know. And I have a background in engineering, which surprises someone. I worked in a lot of people. I worked in the aerospace industry for over 20 years. I have nonprofit leadership experience. And what I do now is my passion project. I think one of the questions that was proposed to me in the list of questions while I was kind of preparing for this was, what is your dream job? Well, I'm actually doing one of my dream jobs, and that's I'm a personal stylist. And let's clarify what a personal stylist is. I don't do hair. I don't do makeup.
Although your hair is gorgeous.
Thank you. I don't do those things. I focus on clothes, your wardrobe. So I help women, specifically women in leadership, build a wardrobe that reflects their life and their career and also what they aspire to be. So even if you're not a leader or a manager of an organization, if that's what you aspire to be, I help you curate a wardrobe that's going to help you get there. And so I worked in talent development when I was working in aerospace as well, and human resources talent development. I worked on a lot and created a lot of leadership programs. And I often use the power of style to help me get into places and spaces that I probably never really saw myself in, but really wanted to step into. So I do workshops as well, helping to teach women how to use style as a tool, as a talent development tool, and as a leadership tool along their career journey. So it's kind of what I do now.
That's interesting. Well, first, I have a couple questions, follow-up questions to that. One is, how did you get into engineering? Like, tell us about that. I love that, right? There's not a lot of women in that industry.
Yeah. And definitely not back in the late 90s, early 2000s, right? So I'm giving my age. I will be 49 this year. But no, well, I grew up always wanting to know why things worked. I always pulled things apart, no matter what it was. I would pull it apart mechanically and I would put it back together. I was always the person who I loved to, like when we got new furniture or whatever it was that came into the house with my dad, it was like a flex for us to put things together without using the instructions, right? Like figuring it out on
Okay.
our own. And so growing up, I never really knew what that was going to result into until I had like a college career epiphany or talking with a counselor. And I was telling them what I liked doing. And they're like, well, that's engineering. And I was like, really? Me, engineer?
Right,
Like,
right.
I like fashion. I like clothes. I like to dance. Like, I hated math. This was in high school. I hated math. My mom was a math teacher. I hated math. I was like, I don't know about that. But they were right. I was wrong. And I fell in love with engineering because of the creativity that engineers have, the ingenuity, the problem solving. Once again, there's a problem and we figure out a creative solution, right? We devise
Yeah.
a creative solution. And so it is another form of creativity. Our phones were made by engineers. Our
Yeah.
phones, our cars, the electric cars that we have today, and even the modern cars, they were envisioned by an engineer or creative mindset and then developed. So engineers, we're not just nerds, we're creative people.
Yeah.
We're creatives and artists.
Well, what I heard there, I think all young ladies or older ladies, but typically, or I'm just really referring to that woman, that young woman who is maybe high school, maybe going to go into college, or isn't quite sure, is where you are as far as the mechanical, the problem solving, all of that, but she doesn't like math.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And we all put that engineering role or
Yes.
career in a box that says you must like math. Not
Yes.
only must you like it, you must be good at it.
Yes. You must be like excellent, like straight
Yeah.
A's from birth to your last, analytics class. And
Yeah. I
no,
I thank you for sharing that, because that literally was an epiphany for me as you're talking. I'm like, oh my gosh,
mhm.
that is amazing. And you followed the path. You didn't believe whatever narrative we've been told that you have to like math, or you have to at least know math in order to
Yep.
get engineering, and you went down that path. How did you
Well,
get to the personal stylist? I mean, you've obviously always been loved style, but how
yes.
did you take the leap from corporate engineering
hmm
to entrepreneurship?
Well, it wasn't like this, like, just straight path. And so once again, I was the person, and excuse me, my dog is like loving me right now.
Oh, well, oh,
Um, I think he wants
refresh
to
my memory.
say
What's your dog's name?
his name is Gary. Say hi, Gary. Say hi.
Gary.
You say
Gary.
hi. You say hi. He wants to be in the photo for
It's
some
totally
reason.
fine.
Yes,
Welcome,
yes,
Gary.
yes.
He's part
Welcome.
of your story, so
he
that's
he
cool.
is part of my story. But it wasn't like this straight linear, because once again, the whole pursuit, of course, of engineering as well was, you know um, my parents were like, you need a job, you need a stable
Yeah.
job. You need a
Right.
steady paycheck, right? And engineering was definitely going to help provide that. Working in the corporate space was going to help really, was going to provide that. But I knew also from that perspective, because I loved fashion and I loved clothes. I loved dressing up. I love the confidence that clothes gave me, that I did not look like my peers who
Mm.
typically wore polo shirts and
Mm-hmm.
khakis, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Um,
branded. Yeah.
branded, like every the company logo on
Yeah.
every single piece of clothing. And it was funny because I would get teased by my fellow engineers, and I love them to death. They're like, wow, you look like you're dressed up for an interview, right? But I was also taught that you dress for the job that you want, right?
Mm.
And so eventually, over time, that I knew I wanted to be in more of a leadership role and, learn the business side of things. And so I still kept true to myself, but in the confines of I'm in a corporate space. So I learned
Mhm.
very quickly as a young female in engineering how to dress appropriately for the corporate space. Little trial and error because I still wanted to like show my personality. So,
Right.
but all the time I would get complimented, like, where did you find that? Like, oh, I love your outfit, by other females who were working in the space. Oh, I wish I could wear that. Oh, I wish you could go shopping with me.
Mm.
I've received these compliments all through my life, like ever since I can remember. And oh, like your shoes, where'd you get your jewelry? You need to come into my closet. And I would
Mm.
always just laugh it off for 20 years or so. I just laughed it off because that is not a viable career. Like, really,
Mm.
like someone's going to pay me to like go into their closets and like create outfits. Like, what world and society am I living in? I'm not,
Right.
these aren't celebrities that we're talking about. We're just like everyday people. But after about 20 years, I'm in various roles and engineering management, um, human resources, talent development. I kind of just came into my own of, you know, I turned 40. I'll just say that I turned 40. And I said,
Okay.
what am I doing with my life?
Right. Yeah.
Like, how am I
Yes.
giving back to society? Like, how am I making the world better? Yes, aerospace is, ingenuity, but, airplanes but it wasn't like direct connection with people and watching people grow and humans develop.
Yeah.
And so I switched careers and I started working for a nonprofit. I became the executive director of Alignment Rockford, which was a nonprofit that worked with the Rockford Public Schools and focused around high school students and helping them find their what's next, college and career readiness. And so it was during that space of like mentoring and talking to students and bringing community members in and industry partners in to connect with high school students to help them find their what's next. But I'm talking to these kids about their passions. And I'm
Mm.
talking to them about what is it that you like? Because, kids nowadays, there's a lot of anxiety about
Yeah.
the word career,
Yes.
and understanding what that means. They think that when you pick something that's it for the
Right.
rest of your life. And that wasn't my life. I moved laterally up,
Right. Me too.
backwards, all over. I came in as an engineer and left in human resources, talent development, and had a lot of opportunities in between. And so it was just asking them just the basic questions. Well, what do you enjoy doing? What brings you joy? And, as I'm talking to these kids about that, I realized there were things in my life that I hadn't explored yet,
Oh.
and one was fashion. And playing dress up in my closet and what that could actually lead to. And a personal stylist, is that something that the everyday person could really do or afford or hire someone to do?
Right.
And
Right.
so what I told other students to do is Google it. I Googled it. How to become a personal stylist. I was up late one night and slew of information from YouTube videos to research articles, the whole 9 yards. And I just started to follow who is now one of my mentors online, her YouTube video and videos, and just became inspired. And what she was teaching is not just how to be a personal stylist, but how to build a business in
Mm.
personal styling. Because she's been there, done that several times. And so that just started my journey. I
Mm.
am a person, Melissa, of sure, why not? What do I have to
Mm.
lose? And I think to continue to move and to grow in life, you can't be afraid of trying things. Because once again, if it didn't work out, Melissa, I could just go back to what
Yeah.
I
What you
know,
knew.
right? What
Yeah.
I know. But I'm a learner and I'm a grower. And I continually have to like, be learning something new or trying something different and growing in different places and spaces. And
Hmm.
reasons why like my career has taken me where it has along the way. I mean, I hate public speaking, but when I became the executive director of a nonprofit, I had to be the face. It was a small organization, like of 3 people, I was forced to learn how to do public speaking. And which frightens me still to this day.
Of course,
But I learned I learned a lot, just, and I grew a lot from that experience. So that's how I kind of got from
I love
point
that.
A to where I am.
You kind of, you didn't have a choice. And so that's out of your journey there, I see 3 different lessons. One being, look inside and figure out what gives you joy. Right? That was one thing that
Yes.
you had said was you had told the students, and then all of a sudden it hit you like, oh, maybe I should do that. The other one is just try it, because if it doesn't work, you can go back to what you know.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Yeah. And
there's always a path back. Yes.
There's always a path back. And when it comes to stretching, right, you're stretching yourself with public speaking. It's not your favorite thing to do, but now you can do it.
Yes.
You still get nervous? Absolutely.
Yes.
But you can do it because you've done it. So, those are, I'm just making some notes here so that.
Absolutely. And as a leader, once again, you're gonna fail. You're gonna grow. A leader that stops growing, right, to me is no longer an effective leader, because then you can no longer relate to the people that you're working with, or that you're leading, or that you're on teams with. And be able to mentor and guide and be vulnerable. Like I would tell my team all the time, because right now I'm just a team of 1, but telling my team all the time, like, I don't have all the answers, and I don't want to have all the answers. I have vulnerable moments. I even have vulnerability even right now as a personal stylist, because now this is my career, Melissa. Yeah. I feel even more pressure to show up.
Yes, let's talk about that. Yeah, let's talk about that for a second. Why do you feel more pressure to show up looking like,
like what I do?
Yeah, like what you do. I feel the same pressure with Grace and Salt Communication. I feel like I have to make sure that I am being graceful all the time, even when I don't want to be.
All the
time. So are there times when you want to show up in sweats and a t-shirt?
There are times where I'm just kind of like, I do not feel like putting on clothes today. Like, I don't want to do it. Like, I don't want to think about it. I don't want to like care about like my appearance. I don't want to, I want to fade into the background and just be sloshy, especially in those moments where either you're not feeling good about yourself, because we went through a failure of some sort, right? Or you're bloated. Women, we have those hormonal things, where you're just like, I don't feel like it. But it's
what do you do in those moments?
I have to reiterate to myself, especially what I tell my clients, right? I know once I do put on clothes that look nice and that fit my body, right, that my mindset is going to shift and it's going to change. Because then I'm going to look at myself and go, "Ooh, well, I look nice," and my attitude just immediately changes. Between that and then I kind of purged my closet so that everything in my closet I really like, even if it is a casual outfit. So I've like upgraded my sloshy or crappy looks, right? Like, and so no longer do I have like the overworn collar is like too big, like t-shirts, right? I do have comfy t-shirts. They may be oversized, but they don't have any stains on them. They're nice and clean, right? They're still presentable. When it comes to like sweatpants, I have really nice, and they make really nice sweatpants nowadays, right? Like, and so I've kind of upgraded my casual wear as well. So even when I do feel like I don't want to put on a pair of jeans or look like this every time I go out, it's still nice and stylish. Yeah. Because I run into people all the time.
Yes.
Small city. And I have to look like what I preach.
Yes. You have to be authentic, right? Authentic. Because if you're not wearing
Yes.
or walking the walk, as they
Yes.
say.
Yes.
Right. And you run into somebody at the grocery store, they're going to be like, so she's only like that on LinkedIn.
On camera.
Right. Yeah.
On camera.
And honestly, in one hand, I guess that's okay.
Mm-hmm.
But there is that nugget of doubt or thought that goes into their head. Right. And you want to show up. Integrity is one of your values. And
yes.
And you want to show up as you are. And this is who you are, I think that the lesson here too is that when you're not feeling it, you're just not feeling it, you still show up as if.
You still show up. I mean, there are going to be times as a leader that you don't want to do the presentation. You don't want to be the bearer of bad news.
Yes.
You don't want to have that uncomfortable conversation, but you have to gird yourself up, right? You have to encourage yourself that this is the right thing to do. You got to do it. It's part of the job, and I've chalked this up as a stylist, as a leader of myself. This is part of the job. And being true to myself. Plus, I also say that I've turned into my mother, and I can never go out of the house. I used to complain to her all the time as a kid, like, oh my gosh, does everything have to be a fashion show? And you just wear something normal. Just throw on a pair of whatever and and some flip-flops and keep going, why do you always have to wear lipstick,
Yes, that's me. I shocked myself that I never wore lipstick until I was probably in my 40s. And now I can't, even on Saturdays, doesn't matter. I can't be, I might be going out to do the yard work or something. I have to have lipstick on. It's so funny. I just don't feel like I look complete,
right? Exactly. Now, I'm not with my lipstick, but when it comes to my clothes, it's just I don't feel complete without a certain aesthetic, or reflecting a certain attitude that I'm having, which is usually approachable.
Right.
So
yes, for sure. And you absolutely epitomize that. So what would you tell your 25-year-old self as far as about confidence, career growth, or anything in general? What would you tell her?
The leaders that you look at are the seniors that have gone before you. They have gone through the same things that you're going through. I always thought that I was the only one going through problems. I was the only one who didn't enjoy public speaking. I was the only person that was shy. I was the only person that was quiet. I was the only person afraid to speak up. I was the only, I was the only person and to me, very isolated, in the entire world. I'm looking around and everyone seems like they're happy and they're progressing through things really quickly. And I'm the only one that's struggling. Not realizing that they're struggling just like I am, but how they're handling the struggle may be a little bit different, right? They may have access to resources that I know nothing about, right? Because I'm not willing and opening to ask the questions of how did you get there? What, was it always this easy? What tools or what resources did you use to overcome? I didn't really, reach out to a lot of people for career guidance when I was that young. I learned that later on in life, learning how to speak up for myself. And saying to my manager, this is what I want out of my career. How do I get there? Or I saw someone my age get an opportunity or had been with the company the same amount of years that I had, and say, well, wait a minute, who were they connected with? How did that happen? And why wasn't I chosen? Right. Or considered?
So how do you find those people that can help you, sponsor you or mentor you or just give you counsel or advice? How do you find those people?
Usually they're in, your social circle through networking. You can't do it. Another thing of 25-year-old self, you can't do it by yourself. You cannot grow in life alone. You have in isolation. You have to go out and socialize and network with others. And take a leap of faith. Don't be afraid to reach out to a perfect stranger online, that you enjoy watching their videos or that you enjoy their post on LinkedIn, right? Just to pick their brain on certain things. Don't be afraid of the people that you work with in your career. Don't be afraid to, while you're at an event, every company has some type of like, after five event, whether it be a Christmas party, office party, a celebration of some sort. Don't be afraid to strike up a conversation with someone that.
But when we say don't be afraid,
Mhm.
that's easy to say that. But how do I not, like, what tips do you have, or what did you do if you were walking into, because you're more of an introvert than you are an extrovert.
I am.
And so when you would walk into a room and networking was a bad word to you,
Yes.
what would you do to force yourself to talk to someone, to speak up?
So I always found I'm a collaborator, and I am a person that always try to find common ground with someone, like how we can connect and even just connect beyond work, like common interest.
Yeah, love it.
Right. So asking inquisitive questions. Now, I worked with engineers, and I was different. A lot of male engineers, and that were into cars, that were into flying airplanes,
right?
All of those sort of things, right? Melissa, I'm not even gonna lie to you, I was not into that, like, at all. Like, I could care less.
But you took the initiative.
I took the initiative, like when I had car trouble at one point in time, to inquire someone who a lot more knowledgeable than I am, as a way to try to connect with them, right? Hey, I came into work today and my car was just like making this crazy noise. And so I got to take it to whatever, the mechanic. I know that you work on cars a lot. Like, you have any ideas or thoughts of a great mechanic that I can take it to, or if you can take a look at it and blah, 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 or give me some advice. Door opener. And I mean, these are even to some people, like, I've done this on different types of topics of people that I had a difficult time working with.
Oh,
right?
Wow.
But I'm a listener, I'm an observer, I watch, and I get to understand and know what, something about someone, and like about themselves. Like, I listen to what they talk about, in the cubicles. I listen to the subjects and topics that they frequently talk about or interested in, right? And try to use that as a way to connect. And at the end of the day, I learned something from it, because I don't like to talk about cars, but I learned a lot about my own car, and cars in general, by talking to someone.
It also took a lot of energy and intentionality.
Yes.
You had to be engaged. You had to do this on purpose.
Yes.
This isn't something that you're just going to go into a conversation. I mean,
it could, but I also believe in divine intervention, and God puts people in your life at certain points in time for a reason. And so if you're always even self-reflecting of, okay, I'm working with this person for a reason. What is that reason? It could be for a lasting friendship that's going to culminate for the next 50 years. It could be because that's going to be my spouse and I'm going to like marry them and have kids with them. It could be because this person's going to help me grow in my career and get over my fear of reaching out and connecting and networking with others. It could be this person is only in my life for a season of time to help me through something. you just never know. I don't believe, like, even when we connected, Melissa, it wasn't by chance.
Mm-mm.
It was by divine circumstance, by God, for a
Yeah.
reason. And
Yeah.
so that's how I value each connection. Um, Even if it's someone, I just met someone literally at a restaurant, my husband and I, that just moved into my neighborhood. We have the same birthday. Like,
What?
yes, I'm not even kidding you. Like, it was just like, well, wait a minute, we were meant. You
Yeah.
literally just moved from out of town here
Oh
with
my
your
gosh.
partner right around the corner from me. You don't really know anyone, and we have the same birthday.
Oh my
So
gosh.
why did God want us to meet?
Yeah.
And what conversations does he want us to have, and how does he want us to
I
continue to
think
connect in the future? So
I think that changes. I mean, it's again another lesson. I'm hearing so many nuggets coming out of this conversation, and one big one is mindset. If you switch it to I'm working with this person, even if you can't stand the person, I'm
yes.
working with this person for a reason. What is that reason? Even if you
Mm-hmm.
are not a faith-based person,
Yes. Yes.
switch that mindset. There's a reason this person is in my project group, even
Yes.
though they drive me crazy. I got to figure out what it is.
Yes.
And even if you do, if you really connect, then what is it that we're supposed to do
Mm-hmm.
together so that we can, reach the goals that God
Yes.
or whomever has for you. So I
Absolutely.
think I think that's awesome. And yes, we met at a chamber event
Yes.
for a women's group that no longer exists.
Yes.
And
This.
so
Mm-hmm.
when I walked in there and Caitlin introduced me to you, right? If that
Mm-hmm.
would have been a year later,
Yes.
we wouldn't have met because
Yep.
the organization is no longer,
No
was
longer.
no longer around. So
Yes. Yes.
yes. And then creating, we know what, well, we don't know, but we do know we're here as friends and really close friends for
Mm-hmm.
a reason. Not sure
Mm-hmm.
exactly what the ultimate goal is, but
Yes.
we definitely know that we are supposed to work together and we're supposed to be lifelong friends. That's just what we're supposed to do.
Absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And so once again, I love what you said about, opening your your heart, opening your body, your energy, opening yourself up to welcome whatever you're supposed to learn from these interactions or from
Yeah.
these groupings. Because even if it's someone that difficult to work with,
Mm-hmm.
if it's to learn patience or how to work with difficult people, because you're going to continue to work with difficult people.
Yes.
You're going to lead difficult people.
Yes. Yes.
You're going to
Yes.
manage difficult people, right? You're going to be peers, or you may have a difficult boss. I mean, there is even whether if it's a positive interaction along, you're going to learn something from that,
Yeah.
and learn something about yourself.
Right.
Because once again, there may be something that you yourself need to change
Mm-hmm.
going forward to make
Mm-hmm.
situations better. So,
I love that.
yes,
I love
yeah.
that. So just kind of wrapping up, I just have
Mm-hmm.
one question.
Mm-hmm.
It's a fill in the blank question. So
Sure.
when women lead,
The world succeeds.
oh, yes, yes. When women lead, the world succeeds. I love that.
Hello.
Hey,
I
that's
mean,
wonderful.
yeah, I mean, at all levels, the world is a better place because we as women are in it.
Mhm.
I believe in diversity, and diversity means a lot, right?
Yeah.
Diversity of gender, diversity in color,
Mhm. Mhm.
diversity of thought. And if
Mhm.
we're all the same,
Oh,
right?
can you
Like,
imagine what a terrible world that would be?
oh
It'd
my
be so
gosh,
boring,
so
first of all.
boring, right?
Yeah.
It's like a closet of just navy and black with no texture. I'm not going to knock my neutral girls, right? I'm fine with neutral colors, or if your closet is all black, but give me some interest with texture, you know? And so just boring. And so I think when women lead, the world succeeds because there are differences in background and upbringing and perspective, male versus female, that, we bring holistically to the table. We just bring, I think about, once again, I don't want to take it there, but I just have to. But we're just built differently,
Yeah.
than men, and we think differently. Even as strong women, right? We still think differently than men, and that's a good thing. Don't ever think that because you're a woman and you have a difference of opinion or a different perspective or way of approaching something, that it's wrong, because it's not like your peers. And the majority of our peers, unfortunately, are other men in leadership roles and in companies and in businesses. But that you bring a unique perspective to the table that needs to be heard, because it helps other people maybe even question, like, oh, I never thought about that.
Yeah.
I never thought about that from that perspective. So don't be afraid. Now, once again, I'm speaking to the choir, because there are some days where I'm super quiet because I'm sitting back and I'm observing the room. I'm reading the room,
Right.
And gaining understanding. I do think before I speak, but as I'm getting older, I'm becoming like my granny, which I'm glad to say that. And I just speak it.
Yep, you just speak it. So having you're just going to segue into our fast bonus round here. So these are our top floor lightning questions. So I've got 5 of them for you.
Sure.
So are you a coffee gal or a tea gal?
I am a coffee gal in the morning because the caffeine jolts me and wakes me up. I don't like the taste of coffee, so I have all the sugars and the creams in it. But I truly am a green tea girl. Green tea,
so you're
authentic.
Both coffee in the morning, tea in the afternoon, evening.
Yes.
All right. Awesome.
Yep.
What's your go-to hype song before a big meeting or a presentation?
Oh, any hyped gospel song.
The gospel.
I will be in the car blasting it on the way to wherever I am, to encourage me, to lift my spirits up, and to put me in a great mood.
I love it. What is one word that would describe your leadership style?
Collaborative.
Very nice. And what's a book or a podcast that you always recommend to others?
Top floor, please.
You're so amazing. Thank you. So now, you had kind of mentioned this before, but you said there was 2 dream jobs. So what would the other one have been?
Opening my own boutique.
Oh, so that can happen.
It sure can.
Yeah, I think
it sure can.
First.
Yes.
This is going to happen. I love that.
Who knows?
All right. So let's just kind of wrap up here. How can people find you?
Sure. I am on all social media platforms. A New Look by Nisha is my business as a personal stylist. My website is www.newlookbynisha, and that's Nisha is NISHA.com. You can find me there as well. LinkedIn, TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook. And I said LinkedIn already. Yep. So I'm on all of those. The only platform I'm not on is X.
Yeah, I'm not on there either. And so follow you, right? So go out to whatever social
follow
platform
me. Yes.
That you hang out at, and find Nisha. And it's Anisha Grimmett, 2 M's, 2 T's.
Yes.
And, right? 2 M's, 2 T's.
Yes.
And follow her, right? So subscribe to whatever it is, whatever platform, however that works, connect with her, but you need to find her and you need to follow her, because she really does have it going on, as you know from listening to her.
Thank you.
What's one lesson? So we're just going to wrap up everything that we've talked about, because we had quite a few today, but what's that one lesson that you would like our listeners to walk away with today?
The lesson I think a theme here is don't be afraid to open yourself up to connections, to
Hmm.
connect. We're starting to live in a society with social media where our social circles or our willingness to connect in person is dwindling, right?
Yeah.
And I'm just gonna, encourage in order to grow as a leader, in order to grow to become a leader, you really have to learn how to connect with others by
Hmm.
either finding common ground,
Yeah.
great conversations, going out and asking really insightful questions, getting to know people. Practice that, even if it's practicing with yourself in the mirror and then going out and doing it with others. Um, connect, connect, connect.
I love that. Kind of a mic drop moment.
Yes.
Yeah, thank you so much for joining us. And for our listeners, please be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel, or you can find me on Spotify. That way, you'll be notified when all of the podcasts drop. If you're interested in my Executive Readiness Accelerator program, then just type ready in the comment section and we'll connect. Thanks again, Nisha. It was a pleasure having coffee with you.
Thank you. I
And
loved
thank
it.
you for sharing all of your nuggets today. It was amazing.
Thank you. Thank you. You're amazing. You're amazing. Thank you for having me.
Yes.
Thanks so much for hanging out on the top floor. If today's episode gave you something to think about or a little boost, share it with your friends to keep the momentum going. And hey, if you're ready to rise, find your voice, and lead with clarity and confidence, we'd love to connect with you. Reach out at graceandsaltleadership.com to learn how Grace and Salt can support your growth. Remember, you don't have to lead like everyone else, just lead like you. All right, I'll see you next time on the top floor.